Welcome everyone to our first ever Southside First Shalagas podcast for small business success. Here we're going to share wisdom from small business owners, wisdom good and bad from small business owners, and also learn from their experience. But we'll also have small business resource folks here that provide free training, free whatever. We've got a lot of that. And so I'm Linda Pearson again. I'm the Interim CEO of Southside First Economic Development Council. We are a nonprofit located on the south side of San Antonio, halfway through the city all the way to the county line. And as you may know, economic development is a huge umbrella. Anything from infrastructure to healthcare and workforce development to education to tourism. And at Southside First, we focus primarily on the success of small businesses. Because as you know, the small businesses are the backbone of any economy. And so, especially on the south side of San Antonio, our mission and our commitment to the South Side is to help entrepreneurs and small businesses, and we're driven to help them achieve sustainability and growth and to create a positive generational economic impact. And if you want to learn more about us, you can go visit us at southsidefirst.org. And we will also, when these videos are over, these sessions are over, we will be putting those links in the description as well. So, I am very excited because today we have with us, you'll see in a minute, we'll have Linda Medina, and she is the owner of Creating Quantum Solutions, which is credit education and repair. And then we also have Fredricka Thomas, who is the CEO and founder of Refresh Your Life, LLC, and it's a wonderful transformative wellness company, so you can learn more from them and their experiences. And then we also have free resources that we're going to be sharing with you at the end. So you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned in to learn about those free resources, and we will do that every week. And we'll also be putting those out on our website as well, and we'll be putting links in the description. So first of all, I want to talk about our wonderful sponsor before we get started. Take a few minutes to recognize and appreciate our very generous sponsor and the founder of an organization for women that has made a tremendous impact, not just on the south side of San Antonio, but well beyond. Brenda Ons is a visionary founder of Women Unlimited International. This organization is a beacon for aspiring women entrepreneurs, not only connecting women to essential resources and networking opportunities, but also providing them with sisterhood, inspiration, motivation, courage, and energy, unlike any women's group that I have ever experienced. And that's probably an understatement. So, so with that, Brenda, come join us here.
Hello, Linda. How are you? Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so excited about this show. I know you've been talking about it for a little while, just getting it all planned and ready to go. And here we are going.
So, this is a Shalagas podcast. Keep in mind we'll also have workshops as well, probably here at the Women Unlimited headquarters, which is where we are right now.
Sounds good.
8720 Botts Lane, right?
8721 Botts Lane.
21 Botts Lane.
We're upstairs in the Evolve Medical Center, so
right.
Yeah, we're excited.
And then it's by 410 and the airport, Broadway and 410. So it's easy to find, easy to get here, and so we have a lot of events here. And so even though we're on the south side, we're here at this location because there are a lot of 60% of the women.
That's right, 60% of the women, the businesses are on the south side.
So which is fabulous. So
that's why I was like, Linda, you definitely need to come down. There's so many people that wanted to meet Southside First.
Some of you may remember Brenda and I were doing things together with the Scooby Band, the literacy programs, and we were also doing Life Stuff Show, the radio show. So we've done a lot of magazines.
A magazine.
And we're
tell them everything, girl.
Now that it's the new year and things are getting ready to kind of settle in, we actually have a couple big projects coming up together. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, so am I.
Okay, so Miss Brenda, enlighten us about your mission at Women Unlimited International and the journey to making this become a reality.
Well, you know, for those of you that don't know, I am actually a coupon teacher. I've been couponing for 13 years. And when I was, you know, in our classes, I thought I was teaching, well, and I was teaching, you know, stay-at-home moms, but, you know, we had an array of ladies in there, and they were like, no, you know, I have a small business, and we're here because, you know, we need to save somewhere so that we can go ahead and invest in our business, and, you know, we can't find the money to do it. but we have seen your commercials, we've seen you out there, and you're like, hey, I can help you save $300, $400, $500, $600 a month. So, you know, getting to know more of the businesses, what ended up happening with my couponing group at Saving Our Way, which we're still there, you know, 13 years later, but we ended up making another group that had all of the businesses there that said, you know what, I want to stay, you know, connected. How can we do that? So that is where Women Unlimited actually was formed. So I'm really excited because, you know, these women had been, you know, following us for some time. And again, they were just like, hey, we are a small business. We want to grow. But it takes money sometimes to grow because, you know, you got to buy your products and, you know, there's so much that kind of goes with that. But that's kind of how Women Unlimited formed. Now, I, like you, am out at all of the events, right, you know, for networking. So I kind of took a lot of like what worked, you know what I mean, what I saw work for me, and communicating with so many of the businesses and kind of giving them their needs. And that's kind of where, you know, they came together. You know, they were like, Brenda, I would like to make this and this and this happen. So what ended up happening is it was like real boots on the ground, like honestly talking to the businesses and asking, what would you like to see within a women's group? Now, it to me, it takes someone special that's going to sit there, you know what I mean, and hear everyone's needs. But with that, we ended up forming a committee of wonderful women, and that's when I say it takes someone special, because they're, you know, they're busy, they have families, they're married, they're taking care of, you know, elders. They have a lot going on with their business, and they still make time, Linda, to come in every single Thursday, network, get people on social media, helping them grow.
Right.
So when we're talking about Women Unlimited, there's no limit. It's like
it's unlimited.
Yes, it is unlimited, and you know, we have wonderful women that are coming here to the WUSA headquarters, and you know, even that, wonderful things are happening. When we first started, we had 100 people in Women Unlimited.
That's a lot.
That
100 is a lot.
I guess that's, yeah. But now we have 11,000.
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
So yeah, so we have 11,000 women coming in. And you know what? They're like the biggest heart. Like when you talk to those small business, like the struggle is real, and they are, you know, I mean, they're blessed to grow, and they show it. They're like, oh my goodness, and they want to help the next person.
Right. So I meant to tell you earlier today, but I couldn't find you because you were running around like she just can't pin her down. And so when you hear people say WUSA, they're talking about Women Unlimited at San Antonio, which originally it was, and this is the WUSA headquarters, but we're going to have to start rebranding you. Tell us a little bit about the Women Unlimited International, which I'm very excited about.
So am I, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, you know. I don't cry much, but I was crying, let me tell you. Oh my goodness.
This is official, right? Everybody knows.
Yeah, so
okay,
everybody
we just
knows.
Switch the nomenclature.
Yeah, and you know, we just now put in for our nonprofit. So, and that's it. So it's kind of going through the process. So we will be a nonprofit soon as it goes through the process.
Okay. Well,
so we are excited about that.
It'll be a 501c. You're already officially a nonprofit.
Yes, I'm officially a nonprofit, but the 501c3.
Yes, so she submitted the nonprofit paperwork the very next day. She's a nonprofit, and so she has friends in high places, apparently. So now you're going through the process of getting the 501c3.
Yes,
which takes a little longer.
It takes a little bit longer, and I am just like really excited, you know, to do this, because again, the mission is to help, you know, the small businesses, and with that, it's going to take funding.
And so international means, and tell us a little bit about the app. I'm really excited about the app that you've got coming out.
Oh my God, I have she's like so much news. Oh my goodness. So we do have, you know, our app, you can get to womenunlimited .app. Yeah, so this is so much. Like what we put there is we were listening to you around the world, right? We just went international, and there were so many of you saying, you know, I love what you're doing in San Antonio, but how can I become more a part of this? So, you know, we got with Manjon Studios, and I just, you know, came to them and said, hey, this is what I'm going to need. How can I possibly get people to come into that website and post their events no matter where they're at.
Right.
You know, and post about their business, make a business directory. So yeah, it launched this morning.
Oh, wow.
So we are like really excited about it, and we are still adding, because as you know, those that have a website, you constantly add as things are happening. But you all ask for a business directory, it is there for your convenience. You know, you ask to post around the world at your event. So we want everybody to know, because you know there's a ton of businesses that travel. You know, they travel, you know, they're doing their thing, and they're also looking for events to go to, other networking events.
Right.
So listening to you all, we were like, oh my goodness, so we need somewhere to share around the world the events that you are having, and just, you know, posting your business. A ton of you could mail out from anywhere that you were at. And we have a lot of just, you know, special businesses doing, you know, special artists. You know, there's just, you're putting out, you know, your specialty, and we want to purchase, but we don't. We live here in little bitty old San Antonio.
But we can buy anywhere.
Yeah,
we got phones.
Yes, we can buy from anyone. We can buy from anywhere.
That's dangerous.
That's right. So this is a very special website, and again, boots on the ground, tailored to your needs.
Right.
So they ask us, you guys ask us what you need, and we do everything possible to put that into play. So we didn't have this special website, you know, 2 years ago when we started. We didn't have the WUSA headquarters just
Right.
2 years ago. We were not a nonprofit
Right.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and we did not have 11,000 members 2 years ago. So this is huge. We have a lot of people, you know, contacting us and saying, hey, we want to help you out. Yeah, we want to partner with you. You know, we definitely are, you know, in your group, and we also are hearing the small businesses and what they need. And partnering with you, we feel we can give you that.
Right, and it's amazing because women and minorities and veterans of those businesses that we're trying to specifically support, because they're the ones that, statistically speaking, have a harder time. But one of the things I love about Women Unlimited, because I don't like networking, you know me, right?
Right.
But this is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking.
That's right.
It literally is. Like today I was noticing I was here, and I'm like so jazzed up just from the energy. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait, I got all these things going. Yeah, so when you come to one of these events, if you're here locally and you can come to one of these events for women, it's just amazing. It's like you just all of a sudden got 11,000 new friends, seriously. And so it just makes it so easy to share, because people are genuinely interested on what you're doing and how they can help support you. And so it really is. It's the energy. It really is amazing. So the introduction that when I gave to Women Unlimited, I was not exaggerating. I was an under-exaggeration.
I thought I was on the red carpet. I was like, oh my goodness.
So
Great
anyway,
introduction.
we are going to have Brenda on, and we'll do the whole show here coming up soon when I can nail her down, and talk about just nothing but Women Unlimited and the app that's coming out and all the other wonderful things.
Yes, just so many events. So definitely just get to our website, or, you know, we have a ton
What's
of
the
events
website right
on
now?
Eventbrite as well. So womenunlimited.app is where you want to get to. We have, like I said, there's so much going on, and we even have every Thursday from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we have our own show. And then we have networking all the way until 1, and it's absolutely free. So we would love for you guys to come down.
So the website is officially womenunlimited.app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where they can find everything out. And then, of course, you know, Women Unlimited is our sponsor for this show. So they provide us to be in this space every week to do our Shalagas workshop, which is amazing. And so a couple days a week, I'm actually here physically to meet with women business owners. And next week,
Yeah.
I'll tell you about next week at the end of the show. We're going to have somebody here who's very special as well. So with that, thank you.
Yes,
and
you're
we're gonna
welcome.
Have our guests join us.
Yes, let's
So
go
send them
and
on in
get
if you can
them.
find them.
Yeah, they're right outside the door.
So one of the things that Brenda has today is she has James Cox. He's a Photography for Life, I believe is the name of his company, and he's set up in the other room. He's given the women a special deal, 2 professional headshots for $25, which is phenomenal. So last I checked, that's where I found Brenda. She was over there straightening up somebody's hair, and so I grabbed her. That's why we started a little late, so sorry about that. And then we've got Linda and Fredricka. So here's Fredricka, and then Linda can just join us at the same time as well. Oh, she gave you the microphone. Yay, how you doing, girl?
How are you?
Good. Okay, so tell us about you and your company.
Well, first, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for the
welcome.
opportunity.
I'm excited. I'm glad you're here.
And so my company is called Refresh Your Life, and it is an LLC. And this business is something that I started because of my own health issues.
Okay.
So in 2020, I was just, even before that, 2018 is where it started. I was waking up every day and just could not get out of bed. Everything hurt so bad, and I couldn't move. It was making me irritated. I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even want to go to work, anything. So I went to my doctor. They couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
So finally, I went and saw a neurologist. Neurologist said, you need to go see, what do you call it? He's a
Nutritionist?
no, he's a guy who tests for the fibromyalgia. Okay. So I went and did the test for the fibromyalgia, came back positive.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So I was like, he said, that's why you're hurting. And he says, I don't have a cure for you. I don't have anything.
Ooh.
There's nothing that I can give you that's going to help take this away. You're just going to deal with pain. And I was like,
what?
And so I left there with no answers, no real, guidance on how to help, and he was like, well, you can exercise, he said, at your own pace, but then you're going to deal with the soreness, all this, right? Well, meanwhile, I'm having chest pain. I went to the ER several times because I thought I was having a heart attack. They drew all my blood and was like, no, it's your fibromyalgia. It's sometimes going to make you feel that way. I'm like, what? Just all of those things. And so I started doing my own research. And one of the researches that I found is juicing was a great way to deal with inflammation and to deal with the pain of fibromyalgia. And so I joined a juice group, and the juice group was so informative. Like, she showed you step by step how to make the juices. And so I got so into it. The juicer she had, I wind up ordering. I told my husband I need this juicer. He was like, babe.
I can imagine how much that costs.
Yes, it's over $500.
Oh,
the juicer is very expensive. Well, it turned into me doing the juicing.
Yeah.
I'm posting on Facebook, me drinking. People are like, what are you drinking? I said, oh, I'm doing this. It's really helping me. I'm starting to feel better, getting out of the bed. I'm feeling better just in general, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, this is really working. And it just took off from there. And then next thing you know, somebody was like, a neighbor in my neighborhood. She was like, if you make these for me, I'll pay you. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing this for
just
myself.
all grew organically, no pun intended.
Yes. So October of 2022 is when I started as like doing it for people. And it's out of my home, so I don't have a storefront or anything. But and she was my first client, and then from there the word has spread, and now we're going on 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Awesome. Okay, and we'll ask you a little more about that in just a minute.
Okay,
so Linda Medina.
Hello.
I mentioned she was coming, so here she
Yes,
is. So
I'm
tell
here.
us a little bit
Thank
about your business, and then also tell us about your connection with Women Unlimited, because I know you're actively involved.
Yes, I am. So a little bit about me. I'm Linda Medina. I have my business is creating quantum solutions, and I do credit education and repair. I also do tax preparation, and I am on the board for Women Unlimited. With Women Unlimited, I started as a committee member, and it was just more so just to connect with other women and build relationships, because growing up, it wasn't building relationships. It's like you don't talk to strangers, or everybody's out to get you, or you can't trust anybody. You got to stay to yourself. You can't depend on anybody. So I had that mindset of, I don't have friends, I have acquaintances. And you can't build relationships because somebody's going to end up stabbing you in the back.
Oh.
So I had maybe one or two really close childhood friends my whole life. But it came at a certain point in my life where I was like, I need to break out of that mentality and really put myself out there and just connect, because I do want to have those relationships. I do want to build, and I had started in different networking areas, and Women Unlimited was also one of those networking areas. So I decided, let me see what that's about. Let me go out there, and I just loved it. I enjoyed it. I've learned that I enjoyed meeting people, connecting with people, and working with people.
But don't you think it's because of how Women Unlimited is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seriously, it is.
And I've been to many different networking groups, and when I started my business, there was a lot of things I did not know how to do. And now, mind you, I have 2 master's degrees. I should know. You know, people would think, "Oh, you're so smart." Blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, I did work hard for that, but there's still a lot of stuff that I'm not ashamed to admit. Like, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that, or I need to learn how to do this or that. And, you know, coming into Women Unlimited was the first place where people just shared and wanted to offer and wanted to help. And I wasn't really pushing or talking about my business very much because I was just mostly wanting to connect. But people were like, well, what do you do? What do you do? And then when I would say, they would want to offer or collaborate or talk about different things. And I was like, wow, people want to share. Because in other places that I had went, nobody wanted to share.
That's a totally different
Yes.
thing. Tell us about your workshop you just did.
Yes, so I did
With
a
Women
workshop.
Unlimited.
I did a workshop. It was a credit education workshop. I worked with Diane Vidial. We collaborated. She's a realtor.
Okay.
She provided the realtor side, real estate side of things of home buying, and then I provided the educational side of credit and where you need to be with your credit. And with me, I, you know, like 15 years ago, didn't know anything about credit, didn't understand it. Multiple different situations, debt and bad scores and things like that. But I ended up working with a company where I was in a position where I had to learn the laws of credit.
Oh.
I had to learn the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Practices Collections Act, and all these other different acts that I had to retake tests for every year and learn. And I said, you know what, I'm going to apply that to my own credit, because I want to say I was around maybe in the 500s with credit score, and I didn't know what that meant.
How long ago was this?
So that was
pre-COVID?
Yes, that was pre-COVID. That was about 11 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So for the past little over a decade, I had been working with the company, and it's actually a credit reporting company where there was debt collection and credit reporting, and I was on the inside, I was on the back end. Yes, I was, and I had to learn all those laws. I had to teach the collectors how they're supposed to work with people, talk with people. I had to learn all of that stuff. I had to learn how we're supposed to report, well, how we can't report, and even down to what you can and cannot say, because it can come off as deceptive or misleading.
Wow, that's interesting.
So during that time, I ended up bringing my score from 500 something to 600, almost 700 within a year. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that, you know, I didn't understand this. Obviously now I understand it. So I started helping family and other people. And then I did that for so many years. And then in October 2021,
Wow.
I decided to professionally get my LLC.
Yes.
And make it an official business and start helping people and educate people. Now, there are a lot of repair companies out there that start business to make money out of it, but a lot of them don't understand the back end the way I
But you're doing it to make money, right?
Of course, of course.
I know,
Now,
right?
when I say that, I mean, thank you for that, is they just don't understand the ins and outs of it. They're just, you know, it's just a lot of, let me swipe out your credit, or let me wipe these things out. And no, it's a process.
Right.
It takes time.
Right.
And also, I like to provide that educational piece to it, because when we get you where we want to get you, I want you to know how to continue and how to maintain and how to build.
Perfect. So we'll dig into that a little bit more. So what I love about this is that both of you ladies have started your businesses organically. It just had to happen. It was meant to be, right? And then you're involved with Women Unlimited, and of course it's very organic, it's very natural, and it just kind of takes you to the next level just automatically, which is what I love. So, okay, so what I wanted to do is kind of ask you, I'll ask you a question, and each one of you kind of share your wisdom and your experience, because I think that's what I love about this, is we've got folks who've been in the trenches, good and bad.
Yes.
I'm going to share that with other small business owners, because a lot of times I think business owners, you kind of feel like you're at it doing it yourself. You know,
Yes.
you're trying to do everything at once, and you're trying to do it all, and we don't have time to stop and Google it or whatever. And so I think, you know, this is just another avenue to help educate small businesses again. And then both of you ladies, of course, we could see you potentially in a live workshop, Shalagas workshop, right? Wink, wink.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Okay. I'm doing my job. I got to line up these folks. Okay, so that's exciting. So we're going to do that. Excuse me, I couldn't find a stapler this morning, so this is how I am. Okay, so first I want to know, you kind of told us why you got started, so that's fantastic. So what kind of positive impact have you had with your clients of the community, or are you wanting to have? Because sometimes we want to have that positive impact, but we don't have that testimonial story where we've got some positive things going on. So Linda, we'll start with you. So what kind of positive impact have you had, or are you hoping to have?
You know, one thing I love is that when I'm helping people, now credit is one of those things that a lot of people still don't want to talk about. They feel embarrassed. They feel like, oh, I'm an adult, or you know, I have a degree or something and I don't know anything, and that's okay. You know, we need to take time to just not judge ourselves, but know that sometimes we have weaknesses and that may be a weak area. And one thing I like is that when I'm talking to people about that, and even with taxes, because I do tax preparation as well, I'm learning that a lot of people just don't understand credit, and it is very complex. Right. So I don't go out there thinking everybody should know it. I feel like people should know more of it because it is very complex. But the impact that I love is that when I'm teaching and I'm helping and I'm talking about it, you just see their eyes light up like, oh my gosh. And then they have hope that, oh my gosh, I can get my credit where it needs to be, and I can get that house, or I can get that car, or I can save that money. And then when they get those things and you see those things happen and you see that whole process evolve from when they didn't know to now putting the practice in, putting the things that they need to put in to get their credit where they need to be, and they're excited about it. I get calls, I get texts and referrals. They get so excited and they're just like, oh my gosh, you helped me so much. I didn't think I would be able to do this. Wow. And you've helped me. And I've helped people, you know, had a lot of the women that I've helped have come from divorces.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're trying to start over. And they either have gone into debt, or something happened along the line where certain financial situations happened during that process and they don't know how to get out of it.
And they're overwhelmed with everything else.
Right.
Yeah, and they're overwhelmed, but then they know I need to get my credit better because I want to get, you know, they're single moms now, I want to get my child in a home, or I want to do this, or I need to save money and I don't know how.
That's huge.
Yes.
So it's not just I'm helping you get that number higher. I mean, it's
more
life changing.
It's more than a score.
It's totally life changing.
It's more than a score.
Wow, that's awesome. That's good,
awesome.
Gigi. I love that.
Wow.
Okay, so Fredricka, what kind of impact do you hope to have, or have you had, that you can share with us?
Well, I love hearing stories of people who have tried the juices, because the first thing people see it and they see color, right? And we're all visual, right? People are visual, so they see color and they're like, I don't know if I want to drink that. I don't know, right? That don't look good.
Wait, they're bright colors, though, right?
Yes, but I'm so excited that I give out samples. So when I set up my event, I let people taste it. And then when they taste it, I love to see their face, like you said, light up. And they're like, oh my God, this is good. And the first thing, is there sugar here? There's no sugar in any of my juices. And people love them. So when I say that, because sugar is the number one thing that is causing so many things in our body. It's the number one for inflammation for me, and that was why I can't. So I don't do a lot of sugar. So then when that happens, then they're like, oh, and then they see the beet one. The beet one is like, people like, I don't do beets. I don't do beets. Well, when they taste the beets, they're like, oh my God, beet is my number one seller.
I have to taste that one.
Okay, so people can buy juices from you, but do you have a way where you can monetize what you do so you can help people to do what you do so they can do it in their homes?
I do, and so I have had several customers who ask me, what are you using? And I love that Women Unlimited, being a part of Women Unlimited and being on the committee, it's so awesome to where we help each other.
Yes.
And I love that we're not trying to hide things from each other, right? And that's the way I am. So when my customer says, well, what do you use? I've already had 4 of my customers buy the same juicer that I have bought because of my recommendation.
Wow.
And they are now juicing. One family is 85% juicing. Like, that's all they do.
Wow.
And they feel amazing. And so people like, and I just had a customer this past week. She bought 15 bottles. She wanted 3 a day for 5 days. And so I just got my response from her, and I take all responses. I want the good, the bad, everything.
Right.
So she gave me the good, and then she told me about some other things, and I said, I love constructive criticism because we need to know that.
Exactly.
And she was like, the juices were amazing. She was like, I thought she said after the 3rd day, she hadn't eaten, but she says, I didn't get any headache. She says the 4th day, I was, what did she say? She was having hunger pains, but she just had a salad, it went away. So she had been drinking nothing but the juices for 3 days.
Yes. The natural juices. Wow.
Yes. And she was like, I was amazed that they were amazing. And that, because it curbs your appetite.
You're getting the nutrients that you need.
Correct.
Yeah.
Instead of all the sugar that we eat.
Correct. And naturally, fruit has sugar. Naturally, certain things have sugar, so you don't need to add anymore. So I just love the connection of hearing people eating better and becoming more nutritious and learning about nutrition. What vegetables are better for certain ailments, and we don't know that, and so I love teaching that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's awesome.
I'm learning so much. This is exciting. I'm a very curious. I'm a very curious person, and I love learning about people. So this is like the perfect job. Okay, so the next question. So we all know that small businesses come with navigating challenges, right? I mean, sometimes every day is a challenge, right? So what has been the most difficult part of your journey, and then how have you overcome that, or how are you working to overcome it?
I would say the most difficult part of my journey was when I started my business in October 2021. December 2021, I found out I was pregnant after 15 years for my first two babies.
Hello.
Well, hello.
And I was at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I am gonna work on my business. My kids are getting older. You know, I have more time to do things for me. And boom, that's it. Here you go. So it was a challenge because I wasn't sure how I was gonna balance that. And I had people telling me, oh, well, now you can't have your business. Now you can't continue your business. And then I had people telling me, you can do anything. You know, you can do anything. If you need to have her in tow on your back, you can do anything. And I thought, you know what? I can. And I'm going to try. And I'm going to work through it. And I did. And I still have
So how old is your daughter now?
She's 1.5 years now.
Oh my gosh, I don't see her.
She's 1 year and a half.
Brought her.
She would be touching everything and trying to eat everything in here. And it was a challenge. It was a challenge going through the pregnancy. I was still working. I was managing. Now I do have a corporate job, and then I have my side business, and then I have my babies and my teens. And I had to adjust, to adapt, and then transition from that old me to a new me, because I'm a new mom to a newborn again. And not only that, but the job it was also a new job, a new industry. So it was a lot of juggling, a lot of challenges, and then navigating the entrepreneur world with trying to understand everything. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you're the marketer, you're the boss, you're the
janitor,
you're everything. You're every piece of an organization, and having to balance all that, and it was tough. And then I did go through some postpartum depression during that time as well. So that was a hard place. But what kept me going is support, having support from others.
Now, were you in Women Unlimited at the time?
I was in Women Unlimited at the time. I was actually, when Women Unlimited had their first conference in May, I was pregnant with my daughter. As I ended up having my daughter in July.
So you did have that kind of a support group, so that's wonderful. But what I love about what you're saying is a couple key things jump out to me, which I think is good wisdom for other business owners and moms and all those hats you wear, is that you said, you had to adjust and you had to adapt. I think I always say the Army says you got to improvise, adapt, and overcome, which you did, which is key. And then the other thing is you said the old new and the old you and the new you. And I think what that represents for me is just accepting the situation and just jumping in and making that happen and doing what you have to do, because it's so easy sometimes to look at these challenges and go, okay, why is this happening to me? And we don't turn the corner instead of saying, hey, it is what it is. I'm just going to accept it and I'm just going to move forward. So
that's what I've been doing ever since, accepting what has come and moving forward.
Yes.
And when I became on the committee with Women Unlimited, it was another step forward because I was doing things that I wasn't used to doing. I was more shy or introverted.
And we all know that Brenda does not throw you in head first. She doesn't throw you into the pool head first. No. She gives you plenty of time to adjust.
Oh, yeah. So that was another shock to my system.
But it's good, right?
It was good. It was good. And as scary for me as it was, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it anyway. If I mess up, it's okay. I'm going to keep doing it until it gets easier, and it's practice.
That's what I love about her, right? You know, she's got that selfie stick, and she got the camera in your face, and we're all scared. She's like, no, come on, guys. She doesn't have any fear. She just makes us step up. I'm sorry, that's probably my phone that's ringing, so Brenda's going to handle that. Okay, so with that, oh, it's your turn, Fredricka.
Okay.
Sorry, keep me in line. Okay, so overcoming difficulties. What was one of the big difficulties, and how did you overcome it? How did you, or how are you working to overcome it?
So, like I said earlier, I was diagnosed with the fibromyalgia. Well, on top of fibromyalgia, I am a military Army veteran, PTSD.
Oh, wow.
So many other things that mentally that I deal with. And, you know, mental illness is an illness that you don't see. It's not something that you wear on your shoulders. You know, you don't wear it, but people don't know what you deal with behind closed doors. Okay, and you can see me, and I look all put together, and I look like everything's well, but at home, I'm going through depression. I'm going through anxiety. I'm going through all of these things. But again, something that I love that you said, we adapt and we overcome. And for me, I am a Christian. I love the Lord with all of my heart, and without Him, I know I could not be sitting here talking to you. And so He has helped me adapt, and He has helped me be an overcomer. And because of that, that is how I have been able to get through all of these and counseling. Jesus and therapy, I'm all about it, okay?
Coffee.
And so I'm therapy is good. It's not bad. And you know, and one thing with nutrition, I want people to hear that therapy is not a bad thing. It's really, some things you need to get out, you need to talk about, and some things you don't have that person to talk about that you can trust, that you can feel like, can I let all my info out on you and you're going to be able to handle it? No, because they got their own stuff, right? So going to see somebody, and that's been my way to overcome. Church family, being there, you know, for me. I also sing. I have so many hats too. I sing. I was on the decorative events team. I decorate too. So there's just so many things that I found myself doing to stay busy, and it kind of helps you try to get past all of the bad stuff, right? And so for me, that is the huge part for me, is really just trusting in God and knowing that if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I have to stop, take a deep breath, hold it, let it out. And I've learned this over the last year, okay? This is not something I've been knowing, okay? Over the last year, I'm learning to take a deep breath and do it 3 times and breathe it out. And then I can say, okay, let's go. Let's start again.
So what I love about that is what I'm hearing is that, you know, some of us who are business people, business owners, it's almost like, you know, we throw ourselves into the business and we live, eat, and sleep that, and our lives are out of balance because we're just so business, right? But you do the church, you have a church family, you sing, and so you have all these other things that are integral, an important part of that. So that's important. So that's huge. The other part of that, and both of you ladies have shared personal examples, right? So I think a lot of times as a business coach, to put that hat on, oftentimes the biggest struggle we have is ourselves. We just need to get out of our own way.
Yes.
You know, the resources there, the supports are there, but we just have to get out of our own way. I think, you know, I'm probably the poster child to get out of your own way, right? Oh. So yeah, so thank you. No, that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make sure we get done at 1:30. We started a little late, so we may just cut things short. But Share, and I think you probably already answered this, but real quick, share what aspect of being a business owner brings you the most joy and fulfillment?
The most joy for me, again, is watching the people that I work with get to accomplish the goals that they wanted.
That's huge.
And also being able to have some of that, extra funds to spend with my family and share with my family.
So how is the new Linda different, better than the old Linda?
I would say the new me is taking on more risk, taking on more challenges, and there's opportunities that have been presented to me, and I'm just saying, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Make it till you make it.
And before, I would go into analysis paralysis because I'm like overthinking everything, and now I'm like, let's just do it. And with that faith, and said, if I'm this brought to me, then I need to explore it. So I'm exploring more opportunities without knowing whether something great's going to happen or not, but I'm willing to move forward just to see what happens and explore. And just what my motto last year was, just embracing the challenges. Like, I'm embracing all the challenges.
That's fantastic. I love it. For some reason, I got to say this. When things bubble up for me, because I'm very intuitive, I just have to say it. It's going to sound weird, so bear with me. But when you're talking about all these people you're helping, I see you with this superhero costume with a big and you're standing there in your superhero pose, So for whatever that's worth, I see you as this person, both of you ladies, as these people who are just, it's not about you, it's about helping others, and you're just going to go do that. So I love that. So that's wonderful. Okay, Fredricka.
And me, the joy for me is education. It's just educating people and teaching them to read labels. Teaching you that everything that you do, or just because it says it's organic, or just because it says it's this, doesn't mean it's good for you. And for people to reach out and say, girl, I didn't know this is this, and then for them to know that they're not just teaching them, but I'm teaching them as a family. Some of them have children that are juicing, and because we have children nowadays, they're obese. Our children are doing, and so I love that I can educate people, and they are receptive to it.
Yes.
And even for the African American community,
Yes.
it is huge. We have high blood pressure. There's so much that we deal with, and a lot of people, it's because education. Nobody has taught them.
Right.
And they're just going by what mama taught them, grandma taught them, you know what I mean? And so now I'm learning that you can live a healthier, sustainable life and still eat good and be okay.
That's fantastic. So that's generational impact right there.
Yes.
You're teaching parents and who are helping their kids.
Yes.
So that's huge. I'm looking forward to learning more about all this, because when you were talking about the labels, I'm thinking, I was watching sometimes I dive into YouTube and start watching all these crazy videos. Or I'm bad, I scroll Instagram and I see the ads, and it's just like, okay, I can't, So I learned to take screenshots of all the things I want to buy, and then of course I forget about them, and then I don't just automatically buy these things. But one of the things was shampoo.
Yes.
Stuff in shampoo that the FDA allows that actually are affecting, I don't know, you may not get into that, but the idea is that those things are affecting our health, and we have no idea. So I bought the natural shampoo bar and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to learning more about all of those things. I mean, you can spend 3 lifetimes
it is.
on that.
It's a lot of information, and I recently just did a 14-day detox with me and my husband.
Juice? Just juice?
It was not juice this time. It was really just the detox, and then we were eating vegan, plant-based meals.
Wow.
But we didn't do anything until like 4 o'clock, and then after 4 we would eat. But it was just these detox teas. It was a tea, followed by it's a doctor, Dr. Bobby Price, and he's my father-in-law introduced it to us, and so
did you put that on YouTube or Instagram, or did you share that?
I haven't shared my experiences yet, because my husband was like, babe, I don't want everybody to know. Men are all like,
not me.
So, and I want to share everything, and he's like, babe, you got to tell everybody. I'm like, well, that's how people learn, right?
Well, yes.
Yes, that's how we learn. If you don't say it, it's like somebody telling you have something, like you said, credit. You have issues with credit. If you didn't tell anybody,
they would not know.
Nobody else would know, right?
Right.
So I feel like experiences that we go through are not for us.
Right.
They're for other people, so that you can help other people.
Right.
So
no, that's huge. Okay, I'm looking forward to learning more about that.
Yes.
That's important for me. Okay, so What advice do you have for anybody else who's looking to start a business or elevate their business? So thinking back over your journey, if you had one piece of advice to share with anybody,
Well,
what would that be?
I would say don't go into analysis paralysis like I did.
Analysis
Because
paralysis.
I did that, and it took me a while before I got started. I wish I would have got started a lot sooner.
So
than I
you
actually
mean
did.
it wasn't necessarily every decision along the way? You just took a while before you even
Yeah,
got
because
started.
it was mostly like you said earlier, we get in our own way, and it was, what do I need? I have to perfect this. I have to get it perfect, or what if I fail, or what if what if it doesn't work out? What if nobody likes me? What if nobody cares?
Yeah,
And
what I like to call that real quick though is people come to me sometimes and there's just so much in their head, right? And I said, well, it's really quite simple. It all comes down, everything in life comes down to two things. You're either coming from a place of fear, or you're coming from a place of love, which is doing it for other people. And when you really boil it down to that, and you go, oh yeah, okay, and then you switch to the other track of let me see how I can help other people, you get out of your head because it's not about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I love that you've made that transformation.
And that's what happened. I started thinking, well, let's just see what happens.
Hell with it.
And let's just do it because I want to help people, and I know there's a need for it, and I'm gonna help people, and that's what I want to do. And there's sometimes there's a bad reputation out there with people, with companies that have taken advantage of people, and I felt like, well, I could be one of those companies that does the right thing. Yeah. And that continues to push and continues to give a better reputation for some of us out there. And I just kept pushing forward. And again, like with asking for help, we always can't do everything. And there was times where I just truly tried to juggle everything. Yeah. And when, it came a point where I did start asking for help with different things, and it just made things so much easier. I think we want to, or at least I wanted to control everything. I just knew I couldn't, and I had to take a step back and say, okay, you know what, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to get some support, and that really helped me continue to grow.
Of course, having a baby and having to do all that too, it kind of makes you say, throw in the towel, okay, I need help. So that was just kind of a blessing
tough,
for you.
But pushed through.
For you, okay, Fredricka, what piece of advice would you share?
She was all in my answer. I was like,
sorry, you can't do that. You gotta say something.
No. But that is one. You said fear is another. Getting out of your own way, but just more than just getting out of your own way is, again, like you say, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes, that's huge.
And for me, I am one of those perfectionist type people. Like you said, and control. My husband always says, you want to control and make sure.
Okay, I'm hearing a recurring
I know.
No wonder we get along.
I know. You want to control everything. And I'm like, well, babe, it's not that. And then even that is control. It's just the passion behind what you love. And people are not going to love to do it the way you love to do it.
Right.
And because of it, you can give somebody your business and you can say, here, can you do this? And I hear Brenda all the time talk about it with Women Unlimited. She started it, but if you give it to somebody else, they could be like, oh, we don't have to do that. Oh, we don't have to do that. Oh, and you're like, no, it has to go this way. And you just have to know that, keep that passion and drive, that you, whatever thought or idea that you have, don't give up on it. Don't see, oh, nobody's gonna like that, nobody's gonna whatever. You have to just try, okay, and have faith. Faith stands for forward action in trusting Him.
There you go.
Forward action, meaning you gotta just move forward, no matter what that looks like, no matter how you feel. Some days, believe me, you're gonna have to get up and just keep pushing, and then you're gonna reap the rewards as time goes on.
That's wonderful. So I think one of the things I made the connection, I'm a connect the dots person. So, we want to be perfectionists, we want to overthink something, and we're afraid of it. And so one of the things I love about this Women Unlimited group is Brenda's like, yeah, screw that. We ain't got time for that. And so I have seen women who are like thinking about starting a business or just getting started, putting their toes in the water. Brenda's like, come here, tell them about your business and what do you do? And okay, everybody, go to our website, and then she just like, woo, catapults them into their business, and then they're like trying to get caught up with that. And so I think that's infectious. It's enthusiastic. It's totally not fear-based. It's totally like share your passion and just go do it. Yeah. And so I think that kind of a spirit and that kind of an entrepreneur, that kind of a sisterhood and that kind of energy is really what sets Women Unlimited apart, and
Oh,
that's all
yes,
Brenda,
Yes.
as we know.
Yes.
Okay, so, but again, so I'm excited, she's doing the international thing, so. Okay, so we are almost out of time, ladies, I'm sure have to figure out a way to get you back. Okay, so real quick, I promised I was going to share some free business resources, and this will be out in the comments as well. And so when I first got involved in the economic development thing, I was scouring the universe and all these websites for resources, of course. And so if, for those of you in Texas, go to gov.texas.gov, that's the governor's website, and I suppose for those of you listening from other states, go look at your state website, because there's always local resources, state resources, and federal resources. So it says, it's real simple, start a small business, you click on there, and there's a lot of free handbooks, and there's all kinds of free stuff that's available. And then if you go to the portal, one of the things that I thought was really interesting about that, so let's say I'm on the south side, or I'm anywhere, and I want to start like a hairdresser business or a restaurant, right? But I have no clue, because a lot of times people come up to me and say, how do I start a business? And I'm like, okay, where do we start? I mean, I know how to start a business, but there's a lot, right? Okay, and so I'm trying to, okay, you know, I gotta put a resource together. Well, I don't have to put a resource together, because if you go there and you answer the questions, you know, what kind of business, you know, are you women, minority, veteran owned, you know, and how many employees, how soon are you gonna start this business? And you say, send me an email, and it literally, and I didn't bring it with me, of course, my husband printed it, sorry. I got an 8-page email in the other room. They send you an email and it says, okay, if you're gonna start that business, here are all the resources, the places you need to go, the permits you need to get. Here are the local resources, federal resources, state resources, and other resources. And so it literally is 8 pages of places to go, things that you have to do, right? Some of it may be additional that you don't need. But what's brilliant about that is I don't have to sit here and spend days searching the internet. Okay, I got to go to the courthouse. Okay, let me see where that is. Let me see who that is, what office that is. I got to call them. Oh my gosh, because it's a lot, as you know. When we start a business, there's a lot of stuff. So this one resource at gov.tex.gov, for those of you in Texas, start a business, click on that, see everything they have, get those resources, but also go to the portal. If you're trying to start a business, do that and get that email. The other thing is, if you have a business, I would highly recommend that you do this as well. Because having been in the HR world and then the quality world, a lot of times, you know, you're helping businesses and you're auditing them, and you find out, wow, you're like way out of compliance, and you don't have a permit, and you never got this. And so there's people who are in business who have not done all of the things that they need to do officially, and so if they get caught, you know, some of these places are, okay, we're going to fine you X dollars a day, every single day, and we're going to backdate that for as long as you've been doing that. So you don't want to find yourself in that situation. So I really would recommend doing that, kind of dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Just, it's a peace of mind thing that says, oh, I've done everything I need to do, plus the resources are there. And again, we will put these links in the description of the videos, as well as the information for these ladies, how you can find them. So hold on to that, because I do want you to tell everybody. And then also, I think if all goes well, this video will be out on YouTube. And then on the southsidefirst.org website, this stuff will soon be added for at the resources page. So it's kind of a work in progress. So real quick, so Linda, how can folks find you?
Yes, you can find me. I do have a business Facebook page, Creating Quantum Solutions. I also have a website, www.creatingqsolutions.com. And you can also text me or call me at 210-778-9560. And that's for credit, education, repair, and tax preparation.
And also follow along with Southside First, because when you do workshops with us, we will have those out there on our events page as well.
Awesome, yes.
Okay. All right, Fredricka.
All right. Well, I also have a Facebook business page. It's called Refresh Yo, Y-O, Life. It is on Facebook. I also am on Instagram. I also have a website, and it's refreshyourlife.com. You can order juices there. I'm working on a blog post where I'll be talking about nutrition. You can also reach me by my phone number at 254-295-3354.
Awesome. Okay, and so when we have a workshop with her, we'll learn more about that too. We'll share that. And so people may think, well, I thought you guys were just helping businesses. Well, the business people are critical. So us business people who are trying to do these businesses can't get out of bed and have no energy. This is just something that would certainly just be wonderful for them to learn. So, and with that, real quick, next week we are going to have Charlie Moak. He is a senior sorry, let me check that out here, sorry. He is a senior business development specialist with the Small Business Development Center at UTSA, primarily supporting minority businesses. And so what we do is folks will call us at Southside Pearson and say, hey, I need help. I got a business, but it's a mess. I don't know where to go. And so we will send them to Charlie. And basically, it's free one-on-one business coaching, either in person or he can do it via the phone or via Zoom. And so I don't know where else you can go get a free business coach with the decades of experience that he has. And so anybody who gets with him, I've seen nothing but successful moving their business forward. So he's going to be here next week. He's here actually every Thursday helping small businesses.
He's
so
awesome.
but he'll be here telling you about what he's doing, and then you'll learn how to connect with him if you want some of his help. So with that, everybody, we are going to say goodbye, and I'm going to get up and shut the cameras off. So we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.